Hello everyone, I'm the cool original Penross776, and today we're taking a look at a Wind Tribe banner, I assume. Anyway, well, it says one with the wind, so that seems pretty spot on there. Now, Claude and Fuga is who we're expecting from silhouettes, and that is, in fact, Claude. You can tell by the way that he looks like Claude. He is a green dagger flyer, so kind of similar in weapon type to Summer Claude, and already I see a new skill. Let's take a look at what this guy is getting up to. In his weapon, he has the playful pinwheel. It's a green dagger, as I already said, accelerates special trigger, cooldown count -1. At the start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants null follow-up and null panic to unit. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed defense res +5 to unit and grants bonus to unit's attack and speed during combat equal to the number of bonus effects active on unit and penalty effects active on foe, excluding stat bonuses and stat penalties, times 2. Also, if unit's attack can trigger unit special, grants special cooldown count -X to unit before unit's first attack, and special cooldown count -Y to unit before unit's first follow-up attack during combat, where X is the number of bonus effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses. Okay, what's Y? Max is equal to unit special cooldown count value. Okay. Y equals number of bonus effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses, minus unit special cooldown count value at start of combat, minimum of 0. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like, if your special cooldown count is like 3, for instance, and you've got 4 bonuses on you, you get special cooldown count -3 to begin with, and then for the follow-up attack, you get an extra -1, because that's 4 -3. Quick maths. After combat, if unit attacks, inflict defense res -7 on target and foes within 2 spaces of target through their next actions. Okay, so built-in null follow-up and null panic, already very good, and +5 for stats, and then just gets a lot of bonuses from stacking a whole bunch of different bonus effects. And actually, looking at this, he's got Lethality in the special slot here. He's got Slaying in the weapon. If you have six bonus effects on this unit, on this Claude, he is going to trigger Lethality twice. Maybe make it 7 just so that you're safe against Scowl and all that stuff. But yeah, just casually, fully charged. Actually, I don't know how this kind of effect interacts with Scowl. I haven't seen them face off in the wild yet. It might be that 6 is fine. I don't know. But in any case, the important thing to keep in mind here is just that, yeah, you can Lethality people 2 times, which is not a thing that many units are able to do in one combat. So that's very, very impressive. The A slot, a new A slot, attack speed prime 4. Interesting. If bonus is active on unit, which by the way, he applies those to himself, grants attack speed +X to unit during combat, where X is equal to number of bonus effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses, times 2 +3, max 9, so 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, so 3 bonuses for the 9. If he's got 2 bonuses, which is the number he applies to himself in his weapon, let me remind you, it's still +7, which is pretty solid. And also, if number of bonus effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses, is greater than or equal to 4, unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range during combat. Okay, so we've got a very interesting unit here already, I think, just based on how many bonuses you're able to stack through a team. Like, 2 is the number he gets by himself, and that's already very strong. With 4, he's suddenly able to close counter just by existing and having those bonuses on him, you can manage that with one support pretty easily. There's a lot of units out there who grant 2 bonuses, like the Askas, for instance, grant both the harmonic bonuses. Catria grants triangle attack and ground orders. A lot of different ways of doing that. And if you go at 6, which again achievable with 2 supports, still very easy to achieve, you get to lethality people 2 times. Also, you get an extra plus 12 attack and speed during combat. That's not negotiable. That's a big number. So very, very fun there. This looks like a 2-page unit. I was goddamn right. On the second page we have Deep Star. So, Claude's famous beast slot getting a bit of a rework here by the looks of it. Enables Canto 1. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts speed defense -5 on foe and reduces damage from foe's first attack by X% during combat. If unit initiates combat, X is equal to 80. Beautiful. Otherwise, X is equal to 30. Stacks with other damage reduction effects like that from Deep Star, which is a status because it still works a bit like Fallen Star in that regard. A little explanation of what first attack means. And then if unit initiates combat, grants Deep Star the status to unit and inflicts gravity on target and foes within 1 space of target after combat. What does Deep Star the status do? For 1 turn, if it is a unit's first combat initiated by foe that turn. That's funny, they've reorganized the wording so that this skill actually works on Summoner's Duels, whereas Legendary and Summer Claude did not. Unit's first combat initiated by foe that turn reduces damage from foe's first attack by 80% during combat. Yep. So basically, it is Fallen Star just slightly reworked to 1, give him a little damage reduction on enemy phase even if there's nothing else going on, and 2, if he has attacked in, it stacks. He gets 80% and 30%, which does not add up to 100% because damage reduction is multiplicative. But it's still a freaking huge amount of damage reduction, don't get me wrong. In the C slot, we have attack speed Oath 4. Okay, so he actually applies 3 bonuses to himself. This one we've seen before, grants attack speed +6, and the orders status to the unit if they're within 2 spaces of an ally at the start of turn. I'm pretty sure we can swap this out, but... I'm pretty sure I can swap this out because orders is one of the easier statuses to get at the moment, but we'll see how things go. Well, this Claude, honestly, I might have to pick this Claude up. I might just have to grab a copy of this Claude because there's a lot of very, very enticing things going on here. To begin with, damage reduction on initiation helps him deal with a lot of Omni-tanks who cannot cut through opposing damage reduction. There's only a few that can. Tiamat is an example, and I suppose anyone paired with Legendary Alia is potentially an example if they can charge up their special. So we'll have to see about getting some guard on a team with this Claude on it. But aside from that, he also lethalities people a whole bunch if you can stack statuses on him, which is very easy with Citrine. And to top it all off, he can be a close counter unit as well. He can potentially cause terrible problems for enemy Gale Force strategies, even if they've broken through your near saver. I love this guy. Very cheeky of them to print this immediately after I spent all my orbs getting all the units from CYL banner, but it's fine. I can find more orbs. Orbs you can get almost anywhere. Let's see what his animations look like, and let's see who's next. Yeah, it takes not much damage at all, even from effective bow there. That's some strong stuff. Dagr! One of my favourite FEHs in the game, and it looks like the art here is absolutely brilliant. Done her a lot of justice. I don't think I recognise that artist. Still, she is a sword cavalry unit armed with the Fujin Uchiwa. Accelerates special trigger, cooldown count -1. At start of combat, if the unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed defense res plus X to unit, where X is equal to 5 plus for greater of a unit's current bonus or foe's current bonus on each stat. Calculates each stat bonus independently. Inflicts penalty on foes everything equal to current bonus on each of foes' stats, again calculated independently, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40%, and grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. So, slaying. Spectrum +5, and you either get bonus doubler, or you get to steal your opponent's stat buffs, whichever one is giving you a bigger number. Either way, if you get bonus doubler, you still remove their buffs, but if you don't get the bonus doubler side of things, you steal their buffs instead, if you get my drift. It's one or the other, and it picks whichever one is better for you. 40% damage reduction and special acceleration. It's pretty straightforward, but it's not nothing, for sure. It's not nothing, and could potentially lead to some high stat cavalry nonsense going on here. That being said, weapon-wise, this isn't too dissimilar from many cavalry units we have observed in the past. I mean, it's good for stats, it's definitely good for stats, but the question is Dagr going to be able to do things that other cavalry units cannot? And so far, maybe not, right? Specialist Draconic Aura. A slot is attack speed clash 4, so the way I'm seeing this with damage reduction with Draconic Aura, with the clash skill, we're looking at a unit with quite high attack and speed, low defense and res, relying on the damage reduction to stay alive. In the B slot, we have Twin Sky Wing. At start of turn, grants Pathfinder to unit support partner for 1 turn. If more than one support partner is present, effect is not granted. You can't cheese it by giving your whole team Pathfinder if they're all the same unit. At the start of combat, the unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts speed defense -5 on foe, and neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat. Effect: Pathfinder. What does that mean? I mean, if we've started keywording stuff now in the middle of this banner, that'd be great. But does that mean that this also just grants her Pathfinder? Because if so, then that seems pretty strong as either an offensive team skill or also a summon jewel skill. You know, being able to effectively always have 2 units on your team running around with Pathfinder, one of which can be a unit that isn't Dagr. It can be any unit at all due to the fact that it's done by support partner status. That could very much be something, but I'm not sure if that's how this works or not, because they've just said effect, Pathfinder. So, we will see. And you have C slot, Alarm Attack Speed, which we've seen before. It's the kind of solo-ish, approximately solo C slot, where you get Canto, which is good because he didn't have Canto otherwise. Canto is one of the many things that she's kind of missing, but it's fine because this could potentially do a lot for her as just a big mobility winning Pathfinder nonsense unit, who's also a decent offensive cav in her own right. Also, I do like that they've gone for the whole thing with the hawk fitting the wind theme here, because that is one of the things that Dagr has that people forget about. Again, let's see some animations. And interestingly, they call this a sword, despite the fact that it is very clearly a fan. Nonetheless, she hits people with it. I do like that crit line as well. Catria, of course, a people that lives as one with the wind. She's a Pegasus Knight. Of course, she knows what the wind is. Catria is our 4-star for this banner, armed with a white wind bow. I see what you freaking did there. She is a blue bow flyer. This being a bow, it is of course effective against flying foes. At start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants null follow-up and null panic to unit for 1 turn. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed plus X to unit during combat. Where X is the number of bonus effects active on unit and penalty effects active on foe, excluding stat bonuses and stat penalties, times 2 plus 5. Wow, they are making inheritables for bows stacked recently. This is oh so much. It's 2 very important statuses. Null follow-up, great. Null panic, great, although maybe kind of bad if you're running L. Robin style teams, but not awful because it's still not negating your debuffs, it's just negating panic, right? And then most of these inheritable weapons have like some effect and then plus 5 to 2 stats. This is giving you plus 5 to 2 stats, plus potentially a whole lot more with how easy it is to stack bonuses and penalties in this metagame. Is it like 5, 6 bonuses? I have a lot of setups so it can do that. That's not plus 5 anymore. That's plus 15. That's plus 17. What are you going to do about that? That's insane stats to come out of an inheritable weapon. That is especially an inheritable weapon that's also giving you null follow-up for free. So potentially one of the strongest 4-star inheritables we've seen in a while. Aside from that, the rest of the kit, the assist is Harsh Command Plus, which exists, I guess. The A slot is attack speed catch 3, good for inheriting catch 4. The B slot, speed defense far trace 3, is actually very valuable on its own, so that is probably, aside from the weapon of course, that is probably the other most exciting thing on this unit. But yeah, White Wind Bow, it's very good stuff. It's a bow, she uses it like a bow. Animations here are nothing special, and then we have Kagero and Oboro Bond Unwavering as our duo unit. Yeah, bold, you say, with that much cleavage is perhaps a little bit of an understatement. They are, I believe, a cavalry dagger unit armed with bright wind fans. Enables Canto, Dist, Max Free. I'll remind you what that is now. This is similar to what we got on the Tea Time banner. After an attack's skill or structure destruction, unit can move spaces equal to number of spaces from start position to end position. Unit moved prior to taking action, max free. So if they moved 3 spaces to get to where they did the thing from, they can canto 3 spaces afterwards. If they only moved 1 space to get where they need to be, they can only canto 1 space afterwards. You get that? Good. Accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed defense res plus 5 to unit, grants attack speed plus X to unit, where X is equal to 20% of unit speed at start of combat. Oh, buddy. And neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. Okay, and also, if unit initiates combat, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 50%, during combat, and unit's next attack deals damage equal to total damage reduced by any source, including other skills, resets at end of combat. Okay, so 1. This unit just stacks an awful lot of attack and speed and tempo, and then does the thing that every offensive unit is doing nowadays, where they survive initiation by just having a huge amount of damage reduction. Unlike every other offensive unit, however, except for like hands and Echidna, and well, in any case, they also have the hands effect of turning the reduced damage into more damage on their next hit. Pain and suffering. Like, things that reward your units trying to tank this for actually having lower damage is a bit of an odd one. But aside from that, it's actually quite a simple unit. Honestly, just kind of insane in terms of stats, perhaps. As for special, they have Lethality, which again, possibly the best dagger special, so it's great that you don't have to kill another unit to inherit it. In the A slot, Remote Sparrow for even more attack and speed and even more damage reduction. Now, like any other unit here, they are of course going to be a bit at risk of just getting hit multiple times. For instance, if you outspeed them and you have no follow-up, maybe that's somewhere to never give them that second massively damage boosted hit from all the damage they reduced from their first hit. But that's going to be a pretty tough ask considering just how much attack and speed they are stacking. Good freaking luck. Again, a whole essay worth of weapon here, so we are going on to the second page, and oh goodness, is that what I think it is? Disarm Trap, 4 on fixed speed defense, -4 on foe during combat, and if unit initiates combat, neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat. What? Okay. While attacking in Aether raids, if unit ends movement on space with a bolt trap or a heavy trap, cancels trap's effect. If unit ends movement on space with a hex trap, reduces trap's trigger condition by 10 hit points. I hate your guts. The hex trap, I need that hex trap to keep my units alive. Stop negating it, please. Let it do its thing in peace. Okay? Okay, can we achieve that? Is that possible? Incredibly rude B slot here. I don't like the fact that it gives disarm trap units actual effects that are useful in combat to begin with. Speed defense -4 and offensive null follow-up. I've said rude before, I'll say it again, rude, especially because this, unlike other sources of offensive null follow-up, this one is equipable by all dagger units, presumably, because it's on a cavalry dagger unit right here. And in the C slot we have C Feud 3, which is possibly the least ridiculous part of this whole kit, but still has some potential to be, like, vaguely, approximately ridiculous. Wow, okay. I see where you're going for, Fire Emblem Heroes. And of course, them being a duo unit, they are going to have a harmonic skill as well. The animations on this one have all been relatively tame, but here it is for duo skill. Grants special cooldown count -1 to the unit, grants the unit can move 1 extra space, that turn only, does not stack, and neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat to the unit for 1 turn. And like a lot of duo skills recently, at the start of every third turn, if duo skill has already been used, you can use it again, so it comes back. Let's see that in action. Yep, get on with it. So press the button.
In a pod. We'll make a path.
And there's your 4 space Cav Dagr, running all the way across the map and taking a lot of reduced damage and then hitting with a freaking massive lethality to finish off the duo Asker. God, I love Dagr's art. That was pretty cool as well. And as we expected, the Tempest trial unit looks like Fuga. I was wondering where he was. That's where he is. He's over there. So let's talk about which units to summon. Frankly, I think Claude is the most relevant thing on this banner for me. You all know I've been Citrine gaming recently, and his whole buff stacking playstyle does a lot. Frankly, it does a lot. Kagero is going to be a menace, frankly. Whereas Claude is designed to help me and fill me with life, Kagero is more designed to annoy me and fill me with death. So it balances out the banner a little bit, perhaps. Then Dagr, maybe not a unit I'll get a huge amount of use out of, especially because, well, one, her whole extra Pathfinder thing is based on a support condition, and support doesn't work on defense. But that being said, I love the fact that she exists and she has incredibly cool art, and I think maybe the Summoners Duel players will be able to make something quite special out of that unit, maybe, perhaps. And then Catria, honestly a really solid 4-star, has one of the best inheritable bows we've seen in a long time, and that's saying something considering that every inheritable bow we've seen recently has actually been insanely good. Well, yeah, good season for bow units, huh? All of these units, honestly, I'd say are worth summoning. That being said, I'm probably just going to try and snipe Claude and get out. And I'm lucky that there's a Tempest trial, because those give lots of orbs. If there wasn't one, I would be, as a wise person once said, pretty screwed. Well, in any case, let me know if you're summoning, what you think of these units, what you think of the banner theme as well, the whole Wind Tribe thing. I think it's pretty solid, honestly, not gonna lie. And I will see you all next time. Penrost out.